Hello everyone, Shakira Martin here. It's been a long time since I have done a Facebook Live. I don't often do this anymore because, yeah, I just don't want to give too much of myself to the people then. But I am so freaking pissed, you lot, and I've had to, like, literally, I'm gonna cry. Like, Yeah, I'm on live. I don't know, Mum. And basically I have to expose what is going on in my daughter's school and tell you what's going on, because I need you lot's support, I need you lot's advice, and I need to expose what my daughters have been witnessing since they started the school, Sherwood Park Primary School in Blackfen, since September. And to be honest, yeah, like, it's only recently that I've been confident to talk about and tell people that I live in Sidcup, because people are so flipping judgmental and think that there ain't no social housing in Sidcup. But I've lived in Sidcup for the past 3 to 4 years, following on from being in a domestic abusive relationship, and I had to move out of my area, and that is why I live in Sidcup. This was definitely before I was political and had an understanding about social stuff that happens. I was totally unaware that I was moving into a vote leave Tory racist area. However, my children up until September attended Turnham Primary School down in Brockley, and the reasons why they attended that school and not one in my area, the reason why, sorry, my dad called. You lot get out, please. One day off school already, get my nerves. Yeah, what do you call it? So the reason why they went to Turnham is obviously I had my job within NUS and it's demanding, always travelling, and I needed help and support to bring my kids to school, and my family's all down in the south, innit, in the ends. However, I was struggling with bringing my children to school on time, and it was really difficult travelling down like 13 miles from my house. So, Mum, tell my dad, Dad, can you stop calling me, please? You're interrupting my Facebook thing. So, what do you call it? So, I've moved them to a school in September in Turnham. Sorry, in Sidcup. And the school, like, I was already aware that I live in a majority white area, but I didn't realise that the racism, deep racism that my children would experience. So from a couple of weeks when Kai Shay started the school, the first incident was when she was in the toilet, and like, there was a girl in the cubicle and she's come in the toilet, and the girl's gone, "Who's that?" And she's gone, "Kai Shay." And the girl's gone, "You can't use this toilet because you're black." Kai Shay didn't, obviously just started the school, didn't know the girl or nothing like that. That was the first incident. Then she's in school now, and there's this boy called Bailey that sits on her table, who has continuously been sending my daughter vindictive notes telling her that she's ugly, she needs to fuck off, and then continued on a number of occasions on a daily basis to talk about my daughter's skin colour and how she looks like poo. I went to the school and spoke to the head teacher about what my children has been experiencing. And I was really nervous, yeah, about approaching the school, because, you know, like these people, I didn't want them to feel like I'm pulling the race card or be labelled troublesome or whatever. So I was really apprehensive about contacting the school. Anyway, I eventually done it. 1 minute. Girls, can you be quiet? So I eventually contacted the school and spoke to the deputy head teacher, Mr. Quell. I've explained to him the incidents that my children's experiencing, and guess what the man turned around and said? The typical thing that you expect them to say. "Racism doesn't happen in my school." I'm surprised. I'm like, bruv, Mr. Quell, this is the exact response that I didn't want to have. Anyway, I went in and spoke to the teacher. They spoke about, like, the teacher was like, yeah, when the deputy head, Miss Cromwell, and Mr. Quell was like, yeah, when they started the school, there was no, like, majority, there wasn't, like, no black children in the school, and over the time since they've been there, there's been an increased number of black children that start in the infants class, and they understand about diversity. Miss Cromwell understands about the diversity because she was a head teacher in Lewisham, a school in Lewisham, and Mr. Quell understands about diversity because he taught in East London. You know them typical racist comments that racist people say, like, oh, I'm not racist, I've got a black cousin, or I've got a mixed race cousin. I was just like, oh. Anyway, since then, like, I've said to the school that, like, I want them to be able to review their, like, policies around tackling racism. They have no policies about tackling racism. And we left the meeting agreeing that they would deal with the little boy, and the issue in hand, and they would have a contact book for my daughter to be able to write her daily, how she was during the day. Moving forward, before Christmas, the little boy was still continuously racist, and the school isn't telling me what's going on. It's my daughter that's coming home and telling me what's going on. But obviously, because of my job, you lot, you know, like, at certain times I don't see my kids for all a week. So my daughter's holding this in for a week before she, like, discloses while we're watching TV that she's still experiencing racism. I've called back the school, said, like, I'm really disappointed that these issues are still happening. The school isn't contacting me. Like, what are you doing about it? Basically, the teacher was like, we've contacted the local authority, Prevent, and we've contacted his mum, and just left it at that. Cut a long story short, you lot, now, last week Friday, Kiara, there was 2 incidents that's happened. Last week Friday, let me tell you this one first, because your heart is going to bleed, brethren. My little daughter, Kiara, 5 years old. She's in year 1. Year 1. She got a head teacher's award for independent writing. However, this Mr. Quell guy, he obviously doesn't like me because I challenge him about the way he's managing these racist incidents and stuff. And the brother's just got some major attitude problem with me. Anyway, on Friday now, 7 kids, including my daughter, was given a head teacher's award in front of the whole of the school. He's called up the first pupil, given them their award and shake their hand. Then he's called up Kiara, given her her award. My daughter's put out her hand to shake the man's hand in front of the whole school assembly, and he's walked past her, bruv, and then gone on to call out the rest of the kids and shake their hands. Kaishay, her daughter, her sister, my eldest daughter, was sitting in the audience. Like, she said that my daughter started to shake. Like, Kiara was like, she felt so nervous and embarrassed. Her whole leg started shaking uncontrollably because she felt so embarrassed, and her face dropped. Yeah, because she put out her hand to the man in front of the whole school, and he blatantly walked past her. Obviously, Kashay's in the audience and stuff. She said the whole school saw it, that when it happened, all the children started to talk to each other like, did you see what happened? Why did Mr. Quell not shake Kiara's hand? And to the point of the whole assembly started talking till the teachers had to get their attention by putting their hands up to, like, stop them from talking. Teachers saw it, like, pupils saw it, everything. My daughter's up there on the stage. It's like she just wanted to come off the stage. She's left the stage now and just gone back to her classroom. Nobody's asked Kiara. Nobody's asked her nothing, like, how you feeling or are you okay or whatever. She's gone back and just done her work. Then Kaishay's in the playground, and all the children is coming up to Kaishay saying, why didn't Mr. Quell shake your sister's hand? Why was your sister trembling on the stage? You lot, the brother, if that ain't, like, the brother embarrass my little 5-year-old you just because he hates the fact that I'm challenging them about racism. Anyway, on that same day, my daughter Kaishay and her other friend, a black girl Tolu, was again victims of racism. They were sitting at the dinner table, and then there was 2 little boys called Sam and Charlie, who and Kaishay and Tolu was talking about their desserts. 1 minute. Girls, can you be quiet? Nah, man. They need to go back to school. Not that school, though. Anyway, so the girl, Kaishay and Tolu's talking about their desserts. Then the 2 boys behind goes, you can't eat chocolate. And the other boy goes, because you got chocolate on your face. So Kaishay said, her and Tolu looked at each other and was like, what? Are they referring? They're obviously referring to our skin colour. Obviously, yeah. We know sometimes kids can just say things without understanding, but I know my daughter is smart, so I'm trying to explore. So I've gone, Kaishay, how do you know that that comment was referring to your skin colour? She goes, Mum, you know that I don't eat chocolate. There's no reason for me to be talking about chocolate. And actually, the dessert at school that day was plum pie. She's gone to the teacher, Mr. Quell, who have on the numerous occasions, along with the head teacher, spoke about these racist incidents and my dissatisfaction about how they're handling this issue. Yeah? She's gone to Mr. Quell and gone, Mr. Quell, can I chat to you after, she didn't say chat, can I speak to you after like lunch? He's gone, yeah. So after lunch now, he's gone and called her from her office, from her class. She's explained the situation of what happened. And then he's gone and got the 2 other boys, but he never got Tolu, the other black girl. Anyway, so he's gone to Kai Shay, brought the kids in the office and gone to Kai Shay. Oh, do you know what racism is? She's gone, yeah, it's when you like, people are horrible to people because of their skin colour and their religion. He's gone, okay, yeah. Then he's proceeded to go and tell the kids, shake and make up and forget that it ever happened. So I'm thinking, is this brother dumb? You know that I'm already unhappy with how you're tackling racism in the school. You've gone and told my daughter and the kids to forget that it's happened, not even encourage them to apologise, nor did him or Mr. Cromwell call me or write about the incident in the contact book. This happened on Saturday, bruv. When my daughter's told me, I'm telling you, eye water come to my eye. I have not been able to sleep since. This morning now, I've got meetings, you lot, yeah? Important meetings that I'm meant to be at from 10:30. I was like, listen, my daughters have told me that they feel unsafe going to this school. Like, if the least thing that I can do is, I might not be taking my daughters to school every single day, but my duty is to protect them. For my kids say they're unhappy and feel unsafe about going to the school, I ain't bringing you to that school. Bearing in mind, my children has not missed a day of school since they started in September. And you know me, I love education, but I'm not going to stunt my children's education lightly. So today I haven't brought them to the school. Me, my mum and my dad woke up early. We've gone down to the school. We reached the school at 9:05. Oh yeah, sorry, before this, when the kids said what they said, my mum called the school over the weekend and left a voicemail and was like, yeah, Mr. Quell, I've got your number. I'm going to be at the school Monday morning to address these issues. And then she wrote a status, a review on the school's website and was like, this school is for white people only. They don't know how to tackle racism. My grandkids are experiencing racism and the kids ain't doing nothing about it. 9:05, me, my dad and my mum rock up. They must have been shocked seeing 3 black people. It must have been the most black people they've seen together come to the school. I've gone to the office and gone, yeah, I want to speak to the head teacher. So the head receptionist has gone and got the head teacher now. She's come out, Miss Cromwell. She looked vexed. The woman looks, hear her. Yeah, I've got your message. And I was like, well, yeah, we want to talk to you. She was like, well, I'm in a meeting at the moment and it's going to last all morning. I was like, it's all right. We'll wait. The woman had us there for 4.5 hours. We didn't get seen to the head teacher until 20:01. I've been there from 9:05, yeah, to go and see the head teacher. The woman's defensive, aggressive, passive-aggressive and angry at the fact that I'm trying to chat to her about the issue of racism. She obviously knew what I was coming to the school to talk to her about. And imagine, it was not that important that she left me for 4 hours, like, and almost was like they wanted us to leave. She's come out diddling in the office or whatever. So I've gone to her. Can you just let me know what time like you'll be available to speak? Whether it's 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I don't care. PM, I'll wait. She's gone in the afternoon about 1:30. She had us sitting there for 4 hours. This time, Mr. Quell is hiding because we're at the reception. Like, I see the man about 9 times, and the brother's like feeling a way to like walk past me, my mum, and my dad. Anyway, we've gone into the office. You know me, like, I'm dotting my I's, crossing my T's, calm, I'm flappable, straight to the point. Bearing in mind, yesterday I went to bed at 5:30 in the morning because I've done a 5,000 word, 8-page statement stating everything that's happened and saying that basically what I'm calling for is an independent review into institutional racism within the school and the leadership team of that school, and an investigation into the behaviours and attitude of bullying attitude for Mr. Quell. I've gone into the meeting now. The woman's defensive. I've stated like everything that I've just said to you, and I said I don't feel that the school confidence in the school to look after my children and their well-being. I feel that you're breaking the Equalities Act 2008, the Child Matters framework, and their own safeguarding policies of protecting of my children having the right to be safe at school. Anyway, so I'm explaining to her and I'm like, look, I've made my daughters felt a way of going to school today. So I've taken them off of school today. I want my children to come back to school tomorrow, but I don't feel safe bringing my children to school while I've made this complaint against Mr. Quell, and I would like him to be put on on gardening leave with immediate effect. I was like, I'm giving you by 5 o'clock today to get back to me and tell me what you're going to do about Mr. Quell and going on gardening leave, so I know whether to bring my children to school on tomorrow, on Tuesday. If he doesn't get back to me, and if he doesn't get suspended, like while this investigation's going on, I am contacting Laura Koonsberg, bruv. I've got her number in my phone, every single media outlet. I'm putting the complaint to Ofsted, Department for Education, my local MP, the local authority, and the Board of Governors. Anyway, the woman was dismissive, like really, like vexed, basically. Oh yeah, I forgot to say something. Last week I went and spoke to the head teacher again when I went to go and hand in Kaisha's PE kit that she forgot. Again, I was elaborating on how dissatisfied I am with them tackling racism. I forgot to tell you this bit. When I first had the conversation about the racist incidents from the Bailey boy, guess what the people them asked me to do? To come to do, offered for me to come to the school and do a whole school assembly on tackling racism. Are you nuts, bruv? It ain't my responsibility to tackle the racism so deeply embedded in your school. My responsibility is my children, bruv. I'm not really on that. Anyway, so then when the teacher's talking about how lack of diversity the school was before she got here, hear the head teacher. Oh yeah, when I came to this school, there wasn't many coloured pupils. Coloured, who in 2019, apart from the deep racist people, use the word coloured? But you taught in Lewisham and you're coming out with that vocabulary. In my head, I'm thinking, you're a senior manager. You have equality and diversity training as part of your CPD. There is no way that you could be talking, in my head I'm saying this, yeah? There's no way that you could be talking like this. Like, if the head teacher is talking like that with the slip of her tongue, imagine what the cleaner or the dinner lady or the teaching assistant's teaching like. Anyway, I've gone to the meeting. I've said to her, I'm writing a letter, a formal letter, asking for an independent investigation into institutional racism in the school. And my children, I don't feel safe, my children coming back to the school while Mr. Quell is there because of the seriousness of this allegation. Imagine you lot. I spent 4 hours waiting to speak to the teacher. I was in the room for 15 minutes. I haven't even been home an hour. And the receptionist from the school has just called me and said, basically, oh yeah, Mrs. Cromwell just told me to pass a message on. Mr. Quell will be at school as normal tomorrow. All right then. All right then. So obviously now I've stated that my kids feel unsafe in the school. I've stated what I want to happen. And they're still going to make the racist bully man be in the school when I've stated that as long as he's there and this investigation's going on, they're not coming into the school. Cut a long story short, you lot. Oh my gosh, I literally am so angry. I need your help to spread this message, spread this Facebook video far and wide, because Sherwood Park Primary School needs to be exposed for the structural racism within their school, but within the consciousness of the teachers. Yeah? Also, like, I live in Sidcup. I'm aware that Sidcup is a predominantly white area, but it doesn't mean that if one student is experiencing any form of racism, that it should be acceptable. And I need you lot to help me spread this word and get this message out there, because now my daughter's educations are going to be limited because of a racist man who the school doesn't want to deal with don't want to deal with the issue like in hand. So I will be going to the newspaper. I will be going to every single newspaper and form of media link that I have, because these people are preventing my 2 children from going to school because they don't want to deal with the racist incidents or experiences of my children and deal with the racism that's so deeply embedded in their school. Like, I've changed, you lot. You know, normally back in the days I would be proper angry and emotional and I am angry and emotional, but I need to do this the right way. I'm going to follow the right procedures, and I'm going to make sure that this man learned his lesson, and I'm going to make sure that, you need to see, following this, the London Borough of Bexley is going to make sure there's regulation, that every child, every school in this borough has policy about tackling racism and have tough consequences, a zero tolerance approach, because none of our children, no matter what their ethnicity, what their background, has the right to go to school and be discriminated against. Yeah, there's one thing, the kids being racist, that's been taught by their parents, but it's another thing when it's totally acceptable to bring this hatred into school. So one rally call, you lot, I don't do Facebook lives anymore, and the one thing that I'll just ask of everybody that's watching this is, please share this video, tell a friend, spread the word, because I am not going to stop until I seek justice, yeah? Until this matter has been suitably resolved, that my children and myself receive an unreserved apology, and I have reassurance that my child will not, or any other child will not, be victims of racism at their school. Like, in the short term, and now obviously I need to move them out of school. I want to move them out of school, but now I feel like I need to move them into the blackest school in Sidcup just to make sure that they're safe. Imagine that. Like, I don't feel that my child can go to a predominantly white school because of fear of racism when I'm in Sidcup. Like, I cannot get away with it. So in the long term, I want to move them out of school, but in the short term, it's not going to be easy, because I'm going to have to read their reports, go to the school, make sure that they've got the policies, and I need you lot support, you lot. I need you lot to spread the word. I need you lot to give me any advice, what you have, any contacts of media people, what you have, because you're not going to hear the last of this story. My children cannot go to school on tomorrow because the fear I have of them feeling unsafe and being bullied and racially victimized by the school and staff, both pupils and staff in the school. So, you lot, I don't even know what to do. I feel so shit. I feel so shit. I don't know how I'm going to do my job for the week, because my kids ain't going to go to school while this is happening. Yeah, but watch out for this, because they've messed with the wrong black person. Like, you get me? Like, don't get fooled by the hair and the way that I talk, bruv. I know about these processes, and I'm going to use, one thing NUS has taught me is how to use the processes to get the right outcome. And I will not stop until my children get justice and the school gets exposed for the racism so deeply embedded within their structures and deeply embedded within their leadership team. But you lot, it takes a community to raise a child. Let's not wait for it to be your best friend or your child to experience it. I know that this isn't an isolated issue, that this is happening to children up and down our country, and we have a duty to stick up and stand up for our children. Like, we as parents, as community, as civil people in this society, we have to have a zero tolerance to all forms of racism. I'm living in a Brexit, Tory, majority white area where hate crime is on the rise, and the school feels that they can take this issue around racism lightly. And Mr. Quell, the head teacher, is so angry with me challenging deputy head, sorry, so angry with me challenging his the way in which they are dealing with this issue, that he decided to bully and embarrass my 5-year-old daughter in front of a full school assembly of around 400 children and staff. So I've written my letter. I'm proofreading it at the moment because it's going to be articulate. I'll be sending it to the board, the chair of the board. No, you can't. You're meant to be at school. You can't be going outside. The chair of the board, Ofsted, the London Borough of Bexley, and the Department for Education. And also, I'll be sharing my statement publicly on social media this evening so that everybody can see what is going on and everybody can pass the message on. If anybody else within Bexley Borough is experiencing the same things at Sherwood Park Primary School or any other primary school in the borough or anywhere within their school, let's come together. Let's message me. Let's get a strategy, because this issue is bigger than just my kids. No child has had to witness or go through what my child has gone through. I said it to the head teacher. I said, listen, I have come too far the system to mess up my children. I am messed up enough that I can do it on my own back. I don't need no school to be messing up and knocking the confidence of my children. I said to the school, I've had to go home every evening and put empowering black videos on YouTube so my children know how to love their self, love their beauty, love their hair, love their skin, love their complexion. Because the fear of that school taking and sucking the confidence and the esteem out of my children. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And if it takes my last breath for me to be on my deathbed before this gets resolved, trust me when I say that they ain't gonna get away with it. They're not getting away with it. I need your help. Please, please, please share this video wide and far, please. I'm going to share it on Twitter. I'm going to keep you posted. Please, if you've got any words of encouragement, any advice, any suggestions of how I can do this, please, please, please let me know. And I just wanted to definitely thank my mum and my dad for having my back today, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And I'm really disappointed the fact that the teacher will still be at school tomorrow. But I'm hoping that once this letter is submitted and once I go public to the media, that they will reevaluate what is going on, at least in the short term. But thank you very much for listening. Please spread this message far and wide. Please let me know again if you've got any suggestions or if you've experienced this and what you've gone through, because I ain't even thinking NUS president. Like, I've gone into full-blown mummy mode, like full-blown protection, and I will be failing as a parent if I just let this slide easily. Thank you again for your time.